One of the problems for savers and planning for retirement is this notion of how much money will I really need in retirement to be worry-free. And first of all, let me say this is different for different people. I've been doing this now over 40 years. I've met with over 20,000 savers. I meet with 20 to 30 savers a week. It's all different for different people. There really is no one-size-fits-all, but there are several things that I'd like to have people consider when they're thinking about the future, because let's face it, you've never been into retirement. I get to bring my experience to bear in working with thousands of people and watching their retirement play out. And here's a couple of problems that people have in thinking through this. First of all, they've been led to believe that as they get older due to inflation, they're going to need more and more money. And that usually is not the case. In fact, although inflation is real, we'll see this in a minute, most people spend less and less. The second thing I've seen that's a real problem is at some point, too much money, listen carefully, too much money will create too much worry. And that is totally unnecessary. Think about it. I mean, how much money is really enough to live on? So let's kind of take a look at the three halves of life. This is really important to consider. And if you're meeting with somebody like me that's a retirement planning specialist, this experience I'm bringing to bear is not just looking at today and calculating all these numbers with these retirement calculators. Folks, you can't do that. Those are not realistic. You have to have a game plan first, work with an experienced retirement planning specialist and a firm that understands what I'm about to show you, called the three halves of life. Okay? So in this first half, again, we generally don't work with people here in the first half of life. That would be people generally younger than age 50 in most cases. Those are people that are still trying to accumulate wealth. They're trying to pay off some debt, send their kids to school. They're doing retirement planning, but they're not really ready for our expertise and services. Again, where we come to the fray is when we're helping people transition from work to retirement, or if they're very close to making that transition. That transition is what we call halftime. Now, this is the period of time where actually most people neglect to spend and enjoy some of their money. This is where a lot of the fear comes in from the financial world. This is generally, not always, but this is generally between about 58 and 70 years of age, okay? 58 to 70 roughly. It's different for different people. But this is the period of time that people start slowing down. They realize work is getting tough. Maybe they've had some illnesses. They've had some friends pass away. They're going to more funerals than there are weddings. They're like, wait a minute, I need to start enjoying this money. But they're afraid to spend it because the financial world does not want you taking this away from them. That's how they make money on your money, folks. They don't want you to spend this money. So a lot of people don't spend it, and then the assets just keep growing. Well, what we're encouraging our clients to consider is once you pass this threshold, whether it's late 60s, early 70s, but basically you'll know when you hit it. I call it the second half of life. This is that period of time where you really do start slowing down. You're traveling less, maybe an illness or an injury or a loss of a spouse has kind of kept you from spending and enjoying money. You don't feel like spending a lot of money. You don't need to spend a lot of money. And you realize you're thinking, man, I spent all my life saving all this money. Now what? I got all this money. So this is the period of time when I think you should just relax. And yes, the idea is, this is what is counterintuitive for most people in the financial world. They don't understand. We actually want the asset base to gradually go down, not go up. If it keeps going up, all that means is when you die, you're going to have taxes probably passed on to your kids. Nursing homes are going to be after it. It makes no sense to keep stockpiling this money. So if you'd like to go through an analysis of your situation and incorporate the three halves of life, this proprietary take on money that I created years ago, and see how we at Tony Walker are so different from the rest of the financial world in wanting you to enjoy this money before it's too late, do this right now. Log on to TonyWalkerFinancial.com. Click on that Let's Get Started button. We can set up something called the free 10-minute fiduciary phone call. Absolutely free, no obligation. You and I will be talking by phone, and if it warrants, we will meet in person to go through a free analysis of your situation. Again, it's TonyWalkerFinancial.com, or give us a call anytime at 877-499-9255.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed that video. If you'd like, check out these other clips. And be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button for more videos.